dolphins. Ha ha!
They look as if they're coming out of your head.
Although what dolphins have got to do with pirate sounds, I've no idea. But it's the only accent that I can do with any kind of conviction. Ha ha! Me
Oh, no, I can do lots.
Can you? That's the Welsh.
Oh, yes.
Is that the Welsh in you, is it?
That's the Welsh in me coming out, is that? So it is.
Now, if you've not seen this lady before, this is Shendy, who is one of the designers that we are using on our website to produce some truly sensational and stunning downloads. And indeed, Shendy has produced the downloads that we're going to be demonstrating. Rather, Shendy is going to be demonstrating today. Don't worry, sweetheart, we'll let you get a word in edgeways in a minute or two, but I just wanted to give you an idea of just how wonderful you really are.
Take a breath.
Yeah. So, Shendy, I'm going to let you tell them about what you're going to be doing.
Okay then. Well, we've got some rather smashing toppers. Have a look at these. Look at that. Don't they look happy? They look just scooting along on the waves there.
Yes, they do look very happy.
They look happy.
Yes.
I'd be happy if I was scooting along on waves.
Well, I'd be fairly happy if I was scooting along waves like that as well. But what are you going to turn it into, Shendy? In fact, before we go there though,
no, let's have a
Shendy wants to show us the rest of the papers that she's going to use for the demo.
There's no point.
See, that's the problem when you're trying to direct it and sort of produce it and all the rest of it. You get a bit carried away with yourself and you want to go straight to the end game. But Shendy's going to carry on running through the papers. I'll shut up now.
Good idea. Right, okay, so there was our dolphins. And I'm going to be using this one, which is a rather spectacular glacier, I suppose you'd call it.
Yeah, it's a glacier, definitely.
No, it's a frozen waterfall, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, rather than a glacier. And then we've got this one. Look at this.
So what
now,
are we looking at there?
Is that a paper and a half? That's actually made from the glacier. I've altered it and played about with it and done all sorts of things, but that is made from the frozen waterfall. So the papers all coordinate.
Lovely.
Okay? Look at that one. That does your eyes in a bit, doesn't it?
Zany.
It
well,
is.
It might be if you've had a few gins the night before, but if you've not had a few gins the night before, I'm sure you're going to be fine with it. It's definitely different though.
Definitely. Inserts. I can't remember which one of the inserts I'm using, but I'm sure I'm using one of them. You can't have a card without an insert. And the same with the frame, but
which one are you going to use for that?
I'm not sure. I can't remember now. Let me have a quick look at my file.
Well, while Shendy has a quick look, just remember to go to the download section and get your credits before you try to do the downloads. Have you remembered now? Have I filled enough for you? Shall we have a look then? It's the square, so it's today's going to be the square.
We're going through the square window today.
Okay. Well, I've been through many a square window in my time.
Have you?
No, I haven't actually. I've never been thrown out of a pub in my life. Or anywhere else.
Cowboy style?
Pardon?
Cowboy style, you know, they pick them up and throw them through the windows, don't they? They never ever go out through the door, they all up.
Right, okay, let's move on back to the demonstration. So.
Okay, I've taken 2 pieces of A4 and I've joined them. And you might think, ooh, that's very, you know, that's awful, that seam in the middle there. Don't worry about it, because I'm going to cover it with that very, very zany paper. And I'm going to take a piece, look, and I'm going to go straight across the middle with it. So let's whip the tape off.
Yep, double-sided, which had already been placed there ready. And don't forget, of course, that there is a range of double-sided tape on the website as well. So let's go back to Shendy.
Okay, so we're going to put that on the inside like that.
And we're not going to get any lumpy bits in it this time,
We've not got any lumpy bits in it this time.
Okay, fine.
I'm getting better at doing the demo.
Okay, look out for another one of Shendy's shows where you will find one with a big lumpy bit in the middle.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So next?
Now, as you will see, we've got that bit of overlap there. Can you see that?
We can if I go a little bit closer, yes.
The can't.
Just bring it, that's it. That's it. Now we can see the overlap.
There, look, they're just overlapping a bit.
All
Don't worry about that.
We're not.
We're not going to worry about that at all. Now we're going to take some of that lovely mottledy backing paper, which you will have downloaded, and we're going to stick that centrally there, like that on that side. And then I've got another piece for the other side, which is going to fit on there like that. See? So we've got a nice gap down the middle. Now I've taken elements out of the glacier I haven't used them all, but I've taken some of the elements and I've cut them out. You see that?
Great.
So I'm going to stick that particular element and reopen the card up and switch it across. There we go. So that now comes and meets with the edge of the card. Like that. It's good, isn't it?
It is, very good.
You like that?
I do. I'm very
That's okay,
impressed. Very
and
impressed.
Then our dolphins. So I'm going to put the dolphins, I think, coming at each other.
Okay.
So I think they ought to sort of meet up. So I'm going to put one up there. And I'm going to put one up there.
Certainly got a lot of dolphins in there.
I have. There we go, look at that. There we go. And then I'm going to put a piece of that very, very zany paper. And I'm going to put that across the centre there. Now I thought I had perhaps cut it a little bit long, so I'm going to get my scissors and I'm just going to trim that off along the edge of the card. There we go, like that. And then, as I said, I've cut out the that peculiar triangle one, and I'm going to stick that there because that's going to be for my sentiment. And the last one, which was the square. Oh, no, don't stick.
Yes, well, this is one of those moments when I start talking about downloads and what wonderful value for money they are while Shendy tries to sort herself out.
Dear.
Now, this is where if I had another camera, I could go off Shendy altogether to spare her blushes, but unfortunately, I can't do that because we don't have an extra camera. So I'm just looking on the periphery of my vision,
ready.
hoping for a little hint.
I'm
You ready? Okay.
I'm ready.
Lovely.
Okay. Now I've retrieved my square bit. I'm going to stick it in the middle. There, like that, and now that gives me a white area in which to put my sentiment, and there you have a nice simple card. How's that?
Just want to move it forward just a little bit. That's it, or quite a bit. There we go. Now we can see it close up. Right, now we'll leave you with a picture of that card in a moment or two, but before we do that, I just want to remind you about that download section. There is a great range of downloads from Shendy, along with all of the other designers in there as well, including Alan and of course myself. Now these are great value. Some of these pages work out at around about 10 pence a page if you take the relative credits involved. Now, you know how much backing papers cost. If you were to go to a shop, nothing wrong with buying backing papers from shops, by the way, but you know full well that if you went to a backing paper shop to buy, not to a backing paper to buy a shop, but if you went to a shop to buy a backing paper, you could be looking...
I'm so glad I'm not the only one that
25p, 50p, 80p, £1 easily. These are not costing you anything like that, but of course the other great thing about these is you've got these, once you've downloaded them to your computer, you've got them to print again and again and again. The other thing that I should say is that all of the images that we prepare for downloads have been optimised so that they will come to you very quickly over the internet. And you're probably thinking, optimised, does that mean compromising quality? No, it doesn't mean a compromising quality. It means that we've invested in the technology that allows us to send you a top quality image over the internet, and it will be just as good as if you'd had that printed and if you'd bought it from a shop. So whatever you do, make sure that you do have a really good look around our download section. Just remember me to say a really, really big thank you for Shendy, or to Shendy even. And what we'll do is we'll leave you with a picture of that fantastic Dolphin card.